So today I wanted to bring y'all into the kitchen and show you exactly how I make a long grain white rice. A lot of people have trouble with white rice. I used to. I remember boiling the water out of it. It would stick to the bottom. It was a mess. Sometimes I would get sticky rice, whatever. Now I know how to do it because I do it all the time. But I wanted to tell you exactly how I do it. And if I'm going through this and you have questions, you can email us or comment and I'll be glad to add the answer onto the video if I know the answer. So when we start, I always start with a pot that has a tight fitting lid. This is important for keeping the moisture in the pot and the steam that will cook the rice. This is not a fancy pot. This is a pot I've had since college, which means it's been a while, but it works fine. So we'll take that and we will add our ingredients. So in the pot, I've put 1 cup of white rice and 2 cups of water. You double the water. So for every cup of rice, use 2 cups of water. 1 cup of dried white rice yields 3 cups of cooked rice. So that can help you in knowing how to plan for your meals. I also am adding in a pat of butter and a teaspoon of salt. You can use a little less salt depending on, your preferences. That's what we use. The butter that I have in there adds flavor. It also, the oil helps to keep the grains separate, and then the salt obviously adds some flavor. So now I'm going to put my burner on high, and we're going to bring this to a boil. Okay, so the water is now boiling. I'm going to stir it 1 time only. Go around like that. I'm going to put the lid on, and then I'm going to cut my heat to the lowest setting. Now, you only stir it 1 time because the more you stir it, the more starch will be released. And so if you stir it a lot, your rice will be stickier. That's the starch in the rice causes the grain to stick together and be kind of globby, and you don't want that for traditional rice recipes. I also recommend using a pot that is clear, a glass lid, so that you can watch the rice. Stove tops have different heat settings. Electric cooks different from gas, so you really want to be able to watch how your rice is cooking, and if that water is cooking out fast, you can make sure that it's not sticking to the bottom. Generally, if you have it on the lowest heat setting, that's not a problem. So now we're going to cook this rice on the lowest heat setting with that lid on for 15 minutes. That's about how long it takes for all the water to absorb and for the grains to become tender. Nobody likes hard rice, so you watch it, and at the end, I do recommend you taste it to make sure that all those grains are cooked. But if you follow this method, it shouldn't be a problem. Our 15 minutes is now up, and if we look in the pot, we can see when I tilt it, there's no liquid moving around. All the liquid is absorbed and the rice is ready. So I'm going to turn it off. Now, for the very best rice, I let it steam for 10 minutes with the lid on, and that's important. During the cooking process, do not remove this lid because the steam is very important in cooking tender rice with separate grains. Now, sometimes I do not have time for 10 minutes of steaming because I have a pack of hungry boys to feed. So it's not necessary, but I do think the rice is better whenever you allow that 10 minutes of steam time. Before serving, I take off the lid, you can see that steam, and I just take a fork and fluff the rice to separate the grains and make it easier to serve. This pot will not last long in my house. We're about to put it on some plates and see how they like it. Okay, now we have our taste testers. Boys, how's the rice?
Yum yum.
No.
Carver, what's on your rice? What do you always like? How do you like to eat your white rice?
Butter. Butter.
Rice and butter's the best way.
Farmer agrees.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions, email us or comment. We hope you enjoy.